course, is Brad Pickett back here in the program. Got your eye favorite coming up, actually. UFC Fox 22, man, December 17th in Sacramento. So you're going to his hometown to give him an ass whooping. That's the plan. That's a big chomp off for you. First, let's go through the Francisco Rivera fight back in February. Split decision win for you. How did you feel about that fight, that performance after the fight was over?
Well, I think during the fight, I mean, there was so much pressure on me going into that fight. I put a lot of pressure on me for a lot of reasons. One, coming back from flyweight, and then I fought Thomas Almeida, and losing a few fights on the bounce, and then having my son in between and all that sort of stuff. And by the time it came to fighting, I hadn't kind of technically won a fight in a couple of years because of the time scale. So, like, I was thinking to myself, I haven't got it anymore, I don't know, and all that sort of stuff. I had a lot of demons going into that fight, you know. I didn't feel that I performed as well as I could have done, mainly due to maybe the pressures I put on myself. But I managed to squeeze out the victory. I was really happy with that. I watched the fight back since, and, man, it was razor close, so I was happy I did get the nod. I've lost those before. I lost a split decision to Chico Camus, which I believe I won. So sometimes they go your way, sometimes they don't. But when I look at the fight back, I gave him the round one. He won round one. The second round, I was like, I could have gone either way, and I won the third round. So it's how you scored that second round. So that's why it's a split decision. 2 judges gave it to me, 1 judge gave it to him. So that's why it was a close fight.
So what happened with the Alcantara fight? You know, now all of a sudden you're back on a winning streak. You've got the demons gone, but then to be honest, you kind of got caught in something that's pretty simple for you. Like you kind of know how to get out of a triangle choke.
Yeah. Be honest, I had literally. I mean, I'm not one to always give excuses and all that sort of stuff, but I had a terrible camp. You know. Mainly being because throughout my whole career, I've had nearly 40 fights now. I've only ever fought one southpaw in my life, and I didn't realize it was southpaw until after the fight. And it's one of those ones where I always knew.
You didn't know he was a southpaw until after the fight?
No, yeah. I only fought one southpaw in my life, and that was Vaughan Lee back in the day. And he was southpaw. I didn't realise he was a southpaw until after the fight. So I've only ever fought one southpaw. Okay, now I've fought 2 southpaws. But I always remember, like in training camps, I've never had to face myself up with a southpaw because I'm always fighting an orthodox guy. And when I'm not in camp, I remember training with southpaws and just thinking, man, this sucks. I hate southpaws and that sort of stuff. And I didn't realise how much of a difference it was. It really hindered my camp. I had a horrible time training with southpaws. You know, I felt horrible. But the reason it was is like, ideally, I think he was a terrible matchup for me. But I was obviously supposed to fight. What was his name again? He got injured again. Henry Briones. I was supposed to fight Henry Briones again. He got injured. Then they offered me 4 different other guys. I said yes to every one of those. And they all, like, for some reasons, couldn't fight or whatever. So it just got to the stage where, man, I just need to fight. And then they said, hey, what about Yuri Alcantara? And I was like, yeah, fine. You know, I didn't really... If I really wanted to be picky about it, I should have said, no, I hate that matchup. But I was like, fuck it, kind of thing. Which, when I look back on it, I wish I didn't. You know, I wish I said no. I didn't like the matchup. And my coaches didn't like the matchup either. But it's one of those ones where I just wanted to fight. Where looking back on now, that's not the you know, I should have in hindsight said no. And I've never really said no to a matchup before. But you know, I mean, I'm in a position now where I'm not really pushing for a title or that, so I can pick and choose who I fight, and because I want to be involved in good fights, and that was it. And then also my whole camp, I had a terrible camp, and then literally the last 2 weeks I started to pick it up a little bit, and I actually started doing well against southpaws, and I thought, hey, I think I'm okay. So, but then coming out to my fight, I'll be honest, it didn't help too much either, being 3 a.m. in the morning. You know, that kind of that kind of affected me a little bit because for me as well, the day of a fight is normally quite a long day for me anyway because I don't really sleep the night before a fight very well. And then with doing that, like also the night of the weight cut and then the night of that, over those 3 days, I probably slept like 12 hours, you know. So it wasn't great. That was one, but I could still fight no matter what anyway. So, but then literally the first kick he threw, I don't think I showed it, but he winded me really badly. Like winded like so bad. I didn't show it, but I was in so much pain. Like no, you know, you've been winded before. You know how it feels. I didn't show it because I didn't want to let them know, but with doing that, I became very defensive, and everyone knows me as a fighter. I'm very aggressive, and I became very defensive, and I was trying to recover, and I was going on my back foot, moving back, and with doing so, he kept on coming forward and started pressuring me. Then he done like a jumping knee, hit me on my nose when I up against it, and then I was like, I was kind of semi-recovered by then, and I was like, right, come on then, move. And I remember throwing a big punch. I was closer to hitting Rosette than him. You know, I was nowhere near him. And then out of nowhere, he done a spinning back elbow, clipped me on my head. I dropped down again. So I'm rocked, I'm hurt. He starts trying to ground and pound me. And then I survive, manage to roll. He mounts me, rolls me into an armbar. I defend the armbar, jumping out. Then he switches it to triangle. And it was really deep. I guess, you know, it's one that I was pretty still dazed from the elbow, so I wasn't always all there. And then it was on so deep, and then I had to tap, and then it was a really hard one for me. It was like I've lost fights before, but that was the first time I ever was involved in a fight where I didn't get to do anything. You know, like it literally was over before I got to do anything, and I've done that to other people before, but I've never been on the receiving end of that. And it was really tough pill to swallow, you know, and I was pretty down about it. And then obviously I got this call to like, do you fancy fighting Uriah Faber? And I was like, mate, yeah, you know.
I gotta ask you, man, that phone call had to come like a week or two after you just fought because the fight was in October. Yeah. Now you're fighting in December. Man, that was like immediately. All of a sudden, this fight was going. When you got the phone call, was there that hesitation because the matchup was already bad between you and Alcantara, your last fight? You're like, let me hold on a second, let me think about this, or were you automatically like, oh, it's Uriah Faber? Boom, yes, I'm in. Like,
yeah, it was more like that. I did say, give me a couple of minutes to speak to my coaches, but in my head I was like, yeah, I'm fine. For me, because I wanted to get, I've never had such a quick turnaround in the UFC ever, and for me also I wanted to get back in there. God, man, just to put that behind me, because that wasn't me, you know, like, I mean, I just need to put that behind me and just get on with my life. And if I'd left it longer before I fought again, that loss would have eaten me up, if that makes sense, like mentally. So I just wanted to get back in there and like, you know, and also stylistically, I like my fight. I like the fight with Uriah Faber. Stylistically, it's a much better matchup for me. And also with this, I have no pressures. Where my last one, I'm fighting in my hometown again. All the pressures on me and that sort of stuff. No one really, unless you know the sport, no one really knows Yuri Alcantara. You know, he's tough. He's a really, really high level guy, but no one knows him. You know, so like it wasn't really a good matchup for me. Where with Uriah, everyone knows Uriah. All the focus is on Uriah. It's in his hometown. He's retiring. It's like all about him, and I could just come around the back, and no one's paying any attention to me, and I get in there, and get the job done. You know, that's how I feel. I feel I could just go in there and perform with no pressures on me, and perform really well, and come away with the victory. You know,
this is one of those fights where styles make the matchup. So this fight is obviously going to be explosive. It's going to be a very good fight to watch as a fan. As a person that has to sit down and try and decide who's going to win and have a bias in who's going to win, it's very difficult to pick on this fight. Both of you are not doing very well as of late. Both of you are kind of on the back end of your illustrious careers. Both of you still have a lot left to offer, but the game is changing so much all the time. Yeah. It's tough to pick and figure out where guys are going to go. Now, obviously, you and ATT is at one of the best programs in the world for training. Yeah. Did you spend most of your camp? We can tell because of all the man stuff that's up on the wall. It's obviously Mike Brown's man cave. So I know you're in Florida right now at ATT, but have you spent most of your training camp for this fight at ATT?
No, I mean, I had to basically because I went back from one fight straight into in the next one. Yeah, so it was one of those ones as well where it was quite nice where I started a fight camp without I need to get myself in shape. I was already in shape, so that was quite good. So I could work a bit more on technical stuff without worried about getting myself in shape. But I had a few not visa issues, but I had to renew my visa, so that takes some time. So I had to stay back in England at Team Time, and also to be honest, sometimes when you're back home at Team Time, there's a lot more eyes on me sometimes, because sometimes when you go to these big gyms, it's not all about you now; it's about other guys, and when it's sometimes back home, you get a lot of attention from the coaches, the sparring partners. You're there for you. And you have this big X on your back where everyone wants to come at you. Oh, Brad Pickett, UFC, let me train with him. So I get pushed quite hard back in England and stuff like that. I do like to come to American Top Team because it gets me away from my day-to-day distractions. Also back in England, I have to travel quite far to the gym and stuff like that. Where here is very close, but also I think being here now is good for me because obviously I'm with Mike Brown, we've been great friends for years, but he beat Uriah Faber twice, so it's a good angle, and he's been helping me a lot.
And that was my next thing: is how much is Mike being influential as your training camp? But obviously, you've already said it. With him beating Uriah twice, it definitely puts him in the forefront. And he's also Mike also kind of controls your entire camp for the most part, doesn't he? Isn't he your head coach for that?
Yeah.
So were there any changes made for this training camp, knowing, hey, it's Uriah Faber, this is a guy that he's very intimate with, it's a guy that a lot of people understand and know, there's a lot of tape on him. What little tweaks were made during this training camp for Uriah?
Basically just training with Mike Brown. Mike Brown has a very good. He can mimic Uriah very well, especially with the grappling and not so much the striking and such, but with the grappling and the wrestling. Obviously everyone knows that Uriah Faber has really good guillotines and all that sort of stuff, and he wrestles, that sort of stuff. So I have some good looks. I have some good partners here that are mimicking these sort of stuff when I spar.
Well, that's great, Brett. Thanks so much for getting into us, especially into detail on the Alcantara fight, because I really had no idea. I mean, I was on, obviously it was Bisping versus Henderson too, so the entire world was watching that entire card, knowing for sure that Henderson was going to retire, and that Bisping, just kind of snuck, as far as everybody else is concerned, snuck his way into being the champ, and now is still the champ. It was a good title defense for Bisping, so everyone was watching. When I was watching your fight, I was like, what the hell is Brad doing? I don't understand. I didn't know you got winded that bad.
I was so hurt. I mean, really hurt. And everyone knows me, how aggressive I am. But you see that when I got hit, I was on my back foot running away because I was just trying to recover.
And you hit it well. You poker faced it very well. I couldn't tell from your mechanics and your body mannerisms that you were, he's hurt, he's crunched over, he's like.
No. I mean, I have a good. I mean, that's one thing I've always say, you can't let people know when you're tired or you're hurt, because if I'm fighting someone and they're hurt, I'm like, oh my god. If I fight someone and they look like they're tired, I'm going to push the pace more. So it's very important to keep that. But obviously, people from the outside, when they look in, they don't notice that. But if you watch that fight back again, watch the first kick he throws is a front kick, and that winded the crap out of me.
Wow, jeez, I'm gonna go back and look at it now just because of that. I want to see it. Brad, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Have fun with the rest of your training camp. Enjoy the fight.
Thank you.
All right, man. Good luck, brother.
Already looking forward to it. Cheers, Frank.